Hi, my name is Sarah Weber. I am the Brain Cleanup Coach, and this is your 10-minute mind fix on regret. I've been doing a meditation pack in the Headspace app, which I highly recommend for meditation. If you've never tried it before, I think it's a pretty ingenious way of teaching meditation. But in this pack, which a pack is just a certain number of sessions within the Headspace app, I decided to go ahead and give the regret pack another go. I've done it before. It just seemed like a good time to go through it again. And I really love the way that regret is defined by Andy Puddicombe, the person that leads the meditations. And he defines regret as just wishing that something were different than it had been. Right? When we regret something, we are kind of living in this past space, wishing that it had turned out differently. And the reason that we would have liked for it to have turned out differently is so that we could feel differently about it now. Now, we can't time travel, right? We can't truly go back in time and change something that we feel regretful about. But what we can do is in the present moment kind of shift how we're thinking about what we're regretting and then let it go, forgive it. So there's holding on to something through regret and wishing it were different, or there's knowing that this thing happened and it stands for eternity, right? It is the way it is. But what you can take forward from it is just the knowledge that if that situation ever happened to you again, and you don't necessarily like the way it turned out before, you could react differently now. So that moment was actually a teaching experience. And rather than feeling regret, rather than wishing it had turned out differently, you can kind of shift your perspective to look at it as that teaching moment and say, okay, this thing happened, and if it happens again, I know how I want to react. I can rehearse how I want to react, or I know that the way I reacted then is not what I want. So I have the ability, should it ever happen again, I can change the reaction and I can take that forward as a teaching moment, but just let go of what I am regretting. And in letting that go, you release that energy. Regrets are like these anchors, right? That hold us, that keep us stuck in a space in the past. And even though we are moving forward, because the future happens where our present moments march forward, we can get stuck because of regret in thinking that the way that happened back then is the only way it's ever going to be, right? But through conscious thinking, through awareness, and then forgiveness, through just letting go that this thing happened, and we don't have to keep wishing that it were different because it's not going to be different. We don't get to go back and change it. Then we can let it go, but take the lesson that we need to forward with us. So let's go ahead and get into a meditation. And this one's going to be pretty simple, but we will incorporate a little bit of possible regret into it and let it go. All right, so go ahead and make sure you're comfortable. If you're sitting, make sure your back is straight, but that you're relaxed. You can kind of think about a string at the top of your head, kind of, pulling you up, giving you a little lift, but also being relaxed in your posture. And let's go ahead and we're going to start with 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And on that final breath, that final exhale, we'll close our eyes. Let's go ahead and take those breaths now. And let your eyes go ahead and drift closed on this final exhale. And go ahead and let your focus drift to your body. Just think about how your body is feeling right now. Does it feel heavy or light? Does it feel energetic? Do you feel antsy, or does it feel quiet and peaceful? Are you hearing any sounds at the moment? Do you smell anything? Go ahead and bring your focus to the very top of your head. Now I'm going to invite you to slowly just scan down. Think about like a Xerox, a copy machine, and the light that just scans the document. That's kind of what you're going here on that for here on that scan. And just slowly move down through your head and your neck, your shoulders, your chest and upper back, top of your arms, your torso, moving down into your hips, through your lower arms and your upper legs, past your knees and into your shins and calves, down through your Achilles and your heel, your ankles, the tops and bottoms of your feet, and through your toes, and then go ahead and bring your focus to your breath. Feel your chest rise and fall with the in-breath and out-breath. I'm going to invite you to try and keep your focus there on your breath right now. Thoughts may start to pop up into your head. That's okay. You can let them. But the minute you realize they do, bring your focus back to your breath. I'm going to leave you alone for a moment to try and keep your focus there on your breath. If your mind has started to manifest some thought, that's okay. Just notice it and bring your focus back to your breath. If you've noticed thinking again, bring your focus back. And if you've noticed that you get a little upset that your mind is wandering, that might be a little regret. It's starting to creep in. That might be you wishing that your mind hadn't wandered, that your focus had just remained on your breath. Notice that. And let that regret go. Nothing went wrong. Now I'd like you to bring your focus back into your body. Feel your chest rise and fall. And then I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. Exhale and open your eyes. How is that for you? Sometimes I know in my meditations, if I've not been able to stay focused on my breath, I do start to beat myself up a little bit. And I'm regretting what happened in the moment before, that I wasn't able to maintain focus. But the act of meditation is moving in and out of that focus. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. But if you're regretful that the thinking mind took over, then you start to focus on that, and meditation can feel bad, right? So even in meditation, we can practice letting go of small moments that we regret. And in that, we can train ourselves to be able to let go of those bigger moments in our past that we regret. Thank you so much for joining me in this 10-minute mind fix, and I will see you in the next one.